All right, so in this session, we're going to learn something, we're going to create something extremely powerful. So instead of telling you, I'm just going to tell ChatGPT, my new best friend, create a Python program that I can run on my PyDroid 3 on my, whoops, a Python program that I can run in PyDroid 3 on my Android smartphone. And basically, this program would ask a series of questions, and the user would answer yes or no by pressing on a button. So there would be two buttons, yes and no. Sorry, there would be a third button called I don't know. So after the user answers yes, no, or I don't know, a new user interface would appear and would mention a message. It might explain to the user, if he press yes, what it means. If he presses no, what it means. And if he presses I don't know, there would be a third message. And on that UI, there would be a next button that the user can click in order to proceed to the next question, which would again ask something, and the user has to answer yes, no, I don't know. And after the 10 questions, a text file would be generated which would contain the questions and the answers by the user, as well as a list of recommendations. And these recommendations will depend on whether the user pressed yes, no, or I don't know for each question. So this is a fairly simple prompt to ask ChatGPT to do a simple task. And as usual, it's 10 questions, but I can easily expand to 20, 30 questions. And the idea here is that you want the user to answer simple questions. It's not an essay question, just yes, no, I don't know. And then based on their answers to each questions, the report at the end will provide certain recommendations. So this could be an email marketing interview. It could be an interview regarding their social media marketing. It could be an interview regarding their job search strategy, an interview regarding a project that they want to create, and the final report is going to be a kind of project plan. So let's see what ChatGPT has done. And so you can see that we can simply copy and paste the code by ChatGPT into PyDroid 3, which is a free application from Google Play or the App Store. And when we run this program, we have exactly what we asked for. Do you enjoy your current work? I would say yes. And then there's a message, you selected yes, that's great, keep up the good work. And then we click on next. Notice that the next button is at the top, which is very nice. Do you feel stressed at work? I would say no. You selected no. You might need to consider what? You might need to consider making some changes. I said I don't feel stressed. Why do I need to change? Anyways, we click on next. Are you satisfied with your work-life balance? I would say no. You might need to consider making some changes. Okay, next. Do you have clear goals for your career? Yes. That's great. Keep up the good work. Next. Are you open to learning new skills? Of course. That's great. Keep up the good work. Do you feel financially secure? Yes. That's great. Okay, I have to change the answers because it provides the same response. Good relationship with your colleagues? Always. Yes. Next. Uh, oh, okay. There's no. Okay, I have to click next. Do you feel valued at work? Yes. Okay. Next. Do you have opportunities for? Definitely. That's great. Click next. Are you happy with your job? Yes. Next. Okay, fine. The quiz is completed and the report is ready. Now, the report is not saved yet because I made a mistake. I have to save the Python script or file before it can generate any kind of report as a text file. So we're gonna create a new folder. I have so many folders. Each folder is like a company, and it's focusing on something particular. So here I'm gonna call it smart bot. In a way, it's like a chat bot, but it controls the conversation. You can't just write anything. You have to choose the answers provided, and this is what I call a smart guided conversation, where the app is like a consultant. So we're gonna call it Smart Bots Inc. And the first iteration, as usual, is going to be called simply number 1. And so when I run it, okay, I'm just going to do it again. Do you enjoy? Yes. Now, I shouldn't have to press the next button. After I click yes or no, it should move to the next question automatically. So that bothers me. So I'm going to create a new version with ChatGPT. Can you rewrite the code, but do not put the next button when the user answers yes or no? Show a corresponding message. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, show a corresponding message based on the user response, and show it for 3 seconds, and then automatically show the next question. Because I don't want the user to have to click next, because the response is usually a very short text that can be shown for 3 or 5 seconds. I can change that later. But any step that you can make to make the user experience better, more smooth, is a good step in the right direction. So here I'm going to save it once again, but this time I'm going to save it as version number 2. We always keep iterating and improving. So here I'm going to say yes, and right away you see that after 3 seconds it's asking the next question. I have to number the questions, by the way. I'm going to say, do you feel stressed at work? No. Are you satisfied with your work? Yes. Do you have clear goals? Yes. Yes, I'm open to learning new skills. I mean, think about it. This is a very simple app that any expert or consultant can create. And through these questions, you can help your prospects or customers even though you might be sleeping. Yes. Do you feel valued at work? Yes. Yes. The font size should probably be bigger, maybe 14 points. Okay, so the report is gonna be, okay, I have to go to the right folder. What was the name of the folder again? SmartBot. Okay, SmartBots here. And so the quiz report, you see here a summary of the questions and the answers, and then the recommendations. Recommendations. Okay, the recommendations are always the same. So, and it's always, that's right, keep up the good work, because I answered yes. So we're going to take a look at, I'm going to close that. Take a look at the recommendations, because based on the user's answers, we need to have a different recommendation. So just as a demo, I'm not going to do the recommendations for the 10 questions, but the report. Okay. So here we have the responses on line 22. Yes, no. And it's always the same, which is not good. And the questions, it's just questions. The questions array on line 10 should be a dictionary, in the sense that there should be, hold on. The okay, the recommendations, that's really strange. The self recommendations, they don't mention it. Yeah, I should have specified. Because we have 10 questions, right? And we have 3 answers for each question. So if you multiply 10 by 3, we should have 30 different recommendations. For example, on question 1, if the answer is no, then something has to be included in the final report. But here, okay, that's a problem. How can I explain to ChatGPT what I want? Well, we have to try. Can you rewrite the code but make the font size 14 points? And also, there are 10 questions with 3 answers each. I want you to include in the final report recommendations that are based on the user's answers. So for example, if the user answered yes for question number 1, there would be a recommendation for that. If the user answered no for question number 2, there would be a recommendation for that in the final report. So basically, you have to create a dictionary of key value pairs, and the key in this array would be one of the 30 answers, and the value would be one of the 30 answers. And remember, we have 30 answers because we have 10 questions multiplied by 3 answers each. Okay, so we'll see if it understood, but usually it's going to summarize or what I said. The font size 14 point and dictionary has been created to store recommendations for each possible answer. Okay, I think it understood basically what I mean. So we have 30 recommendations, possible recommendations, but the final report is just going to have 10 recommendations because there are only 10 answers. But if you create your own app, you can have 30 questions. And also, you can have something very interesting. If the user answered no for question number 1 and no for question number 2, if these 2 answers are present, then you can offer an extra recommendation because the user answered no for these 2 particular questions. But I'll try to do a demo about that in the future and talk about why it's useful for creating that kind of inference. Okay, so we go back here, and in PyDroid we create a new file, we paste the code, we save it as number 3, and we run it. Okay, the font is better. Do you enjoy blah blah blah? I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna pretend I'm one of my friends. Okay, current work, no. Okay. Do you feel stressed at work? No. The wrap length, by the way, looks like it's 300. It should be 800 pixels so that it doesn't appear narrow like this. Are you satisfied about your work-life balance? I would say no. I'm pretending, okay? This is not my case. Do you have clear goals? I would say no. So this person is in kind of trouble. Are you open to learning new skills? Yes. Do you feel financially secure? Yes. Do you have a good relationship with your colleagues? Yes. Yeah, I forgot to number the questions. Yes. Yes. Notice that the buttons become gray, and that's very nice. I would say no. Okay, so the quiz is completed. Now we're going to check the report. And oh yeah, so this report is replacing the old report, which is not good. So in a future version, we want to put the date and the time in the file name so that it's going to create a new report. And this is particularly good for, writing a business plan, which I have to do. So people can generate as many business plans as they can or as they want. It's not going to replace the previous version. Yeah, business plan is a great case for this application. Okay, so the final report, we see a summary of all my answers. You see, no, 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 etc. And at the end, oh, okay, the recommendation is provided right away. So let's take a look. Do you enjoy your current work? The recommendation is to explore what changes could make your work more enjoyable. So from these recommendations, you can see that this is an advisory app. It's actually providing good advice, and it doesn't have to be just text in the report. It can be a YouTube video. It could be a phone number that they can call you or the expert or another expert. It can be a diagram. It can be a picture. It can be stuff that they can find online, a Google document, a Google sheet, whatever. So the recommendation here, I'm just putting text, but it could be much richer. Do you feel stressed at work? Recommendation: keep up the good work-life balance. See, that's not the right recommendation. There's something wrong there. Okay, are you satisfied with work-life balance? No. Recommendation is good. Do you have clear goals? Take time to set clear. Okay, that's good. Are you open to learning new? Recommendation: embracing continuous learning. Okay, that's good. But there's something wrong with do you feel stressed at work? Keep up the good work-life balance. That's for if the answer is yes. So let's take a look at the actual source code to see if we can improve the recommendations. So here, I think there's an array. Okay, here. Here you see on line 22 the recommendations array. For question number 1, yes, no, and I don't know. Question number 2. Question number 2 is about being stressed. If they say no, on line 27, we should not say keep up the good work. We should do, something else, like find ways to relax or something. Question number 3. Yeah, question number 4, clear goals. Yeah, they seem fine. Yeah, and the final report can do more than just summarize the questions, answers, and recommendations. You can provide education about topics like work-life balance, stress management, setting clear goals, etc. So this kind of app is really good because it's focused on each user's particular situation. So how can I say this? For example, we have 10 questions and we have 3 answers. So when you multiply 10 by 3, I think it works that way. When you multiply 10 by 3, you have 30 different recommendations, right? So does that mean that? No, that's not okay. What it means is that there are 3 answers for each question. So you have to say 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 and so on 10 times, and that will give you the number of combinations. So as an exercise, let's actually do this, because it shows us that the number of different users is vast, and therefore you should not have a single webinar or video teaching everyone the same thing, because each person is different. If you look at question 1, for example, there are 3 possible people, right? question 2, there are 3 possible people. So anyways, let's actually do this. So we have 3 answers for each question. So I'm going to say 3 times 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 3. Oh, sorry. What did I do? Wait a minute. 6 times 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the number of combinations. So we basically, theoretically, we could have 59,000 different people, right? And so this kind of app could accommodate, nearly 60,000 types of people. Now, in practice, it's not going to be like that, because chances are, if people say that they're not happy at work, chances are the work-life balance question will have a no answer, because if you're not happy at work, how can you have work-life balance? You're not even happy at work. Or if you're not happy at work, chances are you might be stressed at work, and so on and so forth. So, but in any case, even if it's just 10,000 or 5,000 different types of people, you can see that this kind of mobile app is serving people very well, because it covers a lot of situations, a lot of scenarios. So so we have to number the questions and also change the wrap length. The wrap length is something that I can do. I don't do a lot of work in Python, so that's a small thing I can do. So you see on line 55, the wrap length can be 800 pixels. And so when we ask the questions, now it covers more of the screen. So let's say, I'm going to say I don't know for all of them. That's very unlikely to be the case, but I don't know. Or, we can have questions where people provide a scale, like, sometimes it's not yes or no. For the stress thing, we can say, how stressed do you feel at work? 1 for not stressed, and 5 for extremely stressed, and 3 for moderately stressed, etc. And so for that question, we're going to have 5 different recommendations. And you can see that this kind of app has expertise and some wisdom in it. So it's because it's created by a human being, a professional, an expert. So it's very unlikely that ChatGPT can give you this kind of guidance, because ChatGPT is just probabilities, it's just statistics, right? It would probably give you advice that it found on the internet, and it's going to be the average advice, but it's not going to be on the cutting edge. It's not going to be offered by a human being. And I think we still need the judgment and the perspective of another human being. Okay, so here we're gonna take a look at the quiz report. So it's gonna be a different quiz report, because I forgot to ask ChatGPT to change the name. So this is the report, and you can see that I answered I don't know for all of them. So the first recommendation is take time to reflect on what aspects of your life bring you satisfaction. The next one is identify sources of stress. Next one, reflect on how. Next one, consider what you want to achieve in your career. Next one, explore opportunities for skill development, and so on and so forth. So it looks pretty good. But like I said, this is just the skeleton. It's just a framework. If you're an expert and you're developing this product, this app for your clients, obviously you have to really get into the blue text here, and you can change the recommendations. And of course, the recommendations might include a call to action. You can ask them, hey, give me a call or book an appointment on Calendly, and I'd be willing to help you with that issue. So by the time they call you or they book a session, a free consultation, they already trust you, because number one, they received valuable advice from you, and number two, they see that, wow, you're able to create an app, you must be successful, you must be very good, and because and from your perspective, because you can send this free app to thousands of people, you're not going to have trouble getting appointments. And during the appointment, you can decide, both of you, whether it's a match and whether you should work together. So I'm going to save this as number 3, and I'm just gonna, so this source code, as you can see, was created in 25 minutes. And it's something that can be useful to all the consultants, experts, teachers, coaches out there. And you can, from the same source code here, which is only, oh wow, it's exactly 100 lines of code. That's very cool. So from this basic source code template, you can create an app, let's say, for stressed mothers. Right, because mothers have a different kind of stress than, let's say, fathers, because they have to deal usually with children, etc. And because being a woman, maybe at work, they have different sources of stress, they have different challenges than men. You can have another version called, professional happiness for entrepreneurs. And then it would be 10 different questions that relate to the entrepreneur's life. You can have another app for the unemployed, right? Like, unemployed people have their own particular stress. You don't have a stable job, you don't have income, so you have a different kind of stress. So if you're a psychotherapist or a life coach or a consultant, then you can create different versions of the same app, and each version will help a particular type of people, right? So, and then they're going to feel, wow, this person, this coach, this therapist, this consultant really understands people in my situation. And because they resonate with your app and the way that you formulated the questions and the way that you offered recommendations, they really recognize your expertise, your authority, and they're more likely to book a session with you, which of course leads you to have more clients in the pipeline. So anyways, in this 30-minute session, I just wanted to show you how easy it is to create a Python program that is completely functional. The only thing is that your prospects have to download PyDroid 3, which is the environment here, but they can do that within a few minutes. And after they do that, they can get all your apps for free. They can get tons of advice from you that normally you would charge money for, but it takes them just a few minutes to install PyDroid 3. And they can enjoy your expertise and benefit from your help. And they don't have to call you or book a session. You can tell them, look, I'm doing this for all my prospects and customers, so I want to give you a free copy. And who knows, they might not need you, because let's say they answer yes for every question, they might not need you. But at the end, you can, mention to them, hey, if you found this interview helpful, can you please send me a name of a friend or family member, or can you please send them the app so that they can get help also? It's a great way to be compassionate in a business, especially if you're a coach or a consultant or a therapist and you want to help people. I mean, you can help them in person, of course, but the first layer, the first level of intervention can be done through this mobile app, where you package a lot of your knowledge and expertise, and you deliver all of that knowledge and expertise and wisdom in a way that is easily customized by each user, and in a way that is gentle, that is not invasive. People can answer a lot of private and confidential questions knowing that it's happening on their phone. It's not happening in the cloud, so nobody has access to that information, right? So people, the users, can feel totally, can answer honestly, about sensitive topics like their financial situation, their self-confidence, their sexual activity, their dating, their social, they can really answer honestly. In fact, this is such an important benefit. I really feel motivated to reach out to coaches and consultants and therapists and life coaches and propose this service where I'm going to teach them how they can create their app. Like I did this video in 30 minutes, and it's just so easy, so much fun.